Hey everybody, Mr. Lears here. Today we are talking about the artist Rembrandt. So the first thing I want to do is I want to show you this video about Rembrandt because it shows some of his artwork and the kind of artwork that we are going to make. So make sure you're paying attention, and I'll ask you, if we're going to make artwork like Rembrandt at the end, what are some things that we're going to have to do? So it's important to pay attention so you understand those things. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start that video right now.
Welcome to the Artist Detective, where we investigate the lives and art of the great artists. Today, we will investigate the life and art of me. Do you know who I am? I am Rembrandt. I am so famous, I only go by my first name. Now, my name is really Rembrandt van Rijn, but everybody calls me Rembrandt. You say it, Rembrandt.
Rembrandt!
I was born in Leiden, Holland in 1606. You may recall that a group of separatist Puritans came to Leiden in 1607 and lived there during the time I was growing up until in 1620 they left to form a colony in the New World called Plymouth Colony. I was the 9th child of my parents, and my mother used to read the Bible to me all the time. In fact, the only book I read is the Bible. So one of my favorite subjects to paint is Bible scenes. Look at this picture of Belshazzar's feast. It is from Daniel 5, when Belshazzar the king gives a feast using the gold goblets from God's temple in Jerusalem and proceeds to praise false gods. He sees a hand write a message on the wall, which, as you can see, causes him great fear. He calls Daniel to interpret it, and alas, God has numbered his days, and Belshazzar dies that night. And here is David playing the harp for King Saul. And later, here is David presenting the head of Goliath the giant to King Saul after David defeats Goliath. Have you seen my painting, The Return of the Prodigal Son? Some say it is the greatest picture ever painted. I am a Dutch master. It is one of my last works, though I made sketches and paintings of this subject over the years, like this one of myself. You know, a self-portrait as the prodigal son. In The Prodigal Son in the Brothel, the model of the woman in the painting is my wife, Saskia. Though I have deep religious faith, it is a theme near and dear to my heart, as my own life was not always so pure. We are all sinners, you know, in need of a loving Father who will take us back despite our sin, like in the story of the prodigal son. But how did I become a painter, you ask? Well, as a boy, I went to Latin school. Do you study Latin in the classics? Well, anyway, when I was 14, I attended the University of Leiden. But I wanted to become a painter, so I got an apprenticeship with Jacob van Swanenburg for 3 years, and later with Peter Lostman in Amsterdam for 6 months. I soon had my own studio in Leiden and later in Amsterdam, and I took on my own students. In Amsterdam is where I met my wife Saskia and where I became a portrait painter. I love to paint portraits and make use of expressions. Here is our one surviving son, Titus. See these other portraits.
I I, Giotto, from the late 1200s to early 1300s, was one of the first Renaissance artists to create realistic people showing emotions.
Yes, thank you, Giotto. Do you want your portrait painted?
What is a portrait?
Why, it is a picture of you. I love to paint portraits of my family and friends. I will paint your portrait.
Why don't you just use a camera?
What is a camera? In the 1600s, we do not have a camera. How do you use this thing?
Turn it on, hold it up, and push this button to take the picture.
Let me try. Oh, that is much faster than painting a portrait. And look at the light. There is light on you, and the other areas are a little darker. That is how I like to paint. I like my subject in the light and the dark colors around. You can see this in my famous painting, The Night Watch.
Oui, oui. We, the Impressionists in the late 1800s, loved to paint in plein air or in the open air, capturing what we saw with our eyes because of the effects of light on a landscape. I, Claude Monet, loved to paint with short brush strokes, and you might have seen my many paintings of the water lilies. I, Edgar Degas, also like the effect of light, and am considered an impressionist, but I like painting ballet dancers and scenes from the theater, not outdoor scenes.
I, Berta Morisot, also am an impressionist who brings a woman's touch with my intimate scenes of domestic life. Portraits are nice. I, Thomas Gainsborough, was one of the leading portraitists of my time in the 1700s in England, but I prefer adding landscapes. Do you paint any landscapes? Yes, a few, but I prefer close-up portraits. I also love to paint self-portraits. I do make a good model, don't you think? Here are a few of my self-portraits over the years.
I, Vincent van Gogh, also a Dutch painter, but from the late 1800s, am so inspired by you, and I am also known for my many self-portraits. Rembrandt, you go so deep into the mysterious that you say things for which there are no words in any language. It is with justice that they call you, Rembrandt, magician. That's no easy occupation.
Magician? Well, more like Dutch master.
You know, Rembrandt, you have inspired many artists. I, Norman Rockwell, the American illustrator from the 1900s, pinned up your self-portrait to my canvas for my own triple self-portrait along with Vincent van Gogh's, Dürer's, and Picasso's, though I am better known for my humorous depictions of everyday American life.
American. I've never heard of America. Do you know what he is talking about? Well, anyway, let's review about who I am. After all, today, the artist detective is supposed to be about me, Rembrandt. Now, let's review it with you. I will say it. Rembrandt.
Rembrandt!
1600s.
1600s!
Holland.
Holland!
Dutch master.
Dutch master!
Bible scenes and portraits.
Bible scenes and portraits!
Expressions and use of lights.
Expressions and use of light.
I look forward to being your host on the Artist Detective and talking about me. I look forward to investigating the lives and art of the great artists like me. Remember, Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, God has made everything beautiful in its time. Until next time, Rembrandt and the Artist Detective.
Okay, so that was a little bit about the artist Rembrandt. Let's stop and take a few minutes to talk about him and his artwork. Let's first start by who can tell me who can tell me about what kind of artwork does Rembrandt make? Who can describe that for me? Okay. Okay, let's analyze some of his artwork. What is the same about all of his artwork? What is the same about all of his artwork? Who can tell me? Okay. Let's interpret some of his artwork here. If the artwork we're looking at right now, if this was the cover of a book, what do you think that book would be about? Let's judge this book by its cover. Okay, look at the details. What is this book about? If that's the cover of the book. Okay, if we are going to make an artwork like Rembrandt, what are we going to have to do? What are some things that we need to do? Okay, so we've established that we are going to be making a portrait. We're going to be doing it in the style of Rembrandt with lots of shadows in the background. Everything is dark, and then the main subject, which is you or another person, is going to be in the light. So we want to make some shadows, which is why I'm sitting in the dark, right? So here's a little trick that I like to do with the computer. So you're looking at the picture of me right now, probably two pictures of me. Can I make this any bigger? It doesn't look like I can. Here we go. All right. So there is a button on some computers. You don't have to do this. This is just an option. You could just draw by looking. You can open up Zoom and just use your computer like a mirror. So what I'm doing is I'm just looking at myself right here, and then I can just draw on paper. Here's a trick I like to use with that art program Canvas, Google Canvas that I told you about. So if there's a button on your computer called print screen. So if I look Rembrandt, he puts expressions on people's faces. I don't want to see everybody drawing portraits like this. Yeah, that's boring. Put an expression on your face. I think I'm going to do like a smirk. Like that. Let's see, can I make more shadow or no? Nope, that's good. And if I hit print screen, and then, oh, why isn't it working? Oh, I think it took the picture. So wait, let me try that again. I have to hold it down, I wonder. Okay, I think I took a bunch of pictures just now. Oh no, there it is. Because I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so you can actually click and drag over what you want to take a picture of. So if I do this, watch. Let's see if it'll work. No, it's going behind the picture. Oh, there it goes. See how it just took a picture? And then there's a little menu that pops up, and I don't think I can move it. Nope, I can't move it. And it says, the little menu says, save image as file. Okay, so I'm clicking save image as file. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, there we go. See how I'm doing that? Boom, just took a picture. And right here, this little menu that you can't really see. I wonder if I can, oh my gosh, I'm just taking pictures all over the place. All right, so right here, it says save image as file. So if I click on that, I don't know where it went. Normally you can save that in your downloads, okay? Let me just get out of this. There we go. So once it's saved, you can go to your Canvas page. Let me just move the picture out here. Come on, picture, go away. There we go. So if you look, this is the Google Canvas page. You can see all the other drawings. Right here, it says new from image. This is a little trick I like to do. Here's that picture, because I saved as a file and I saved it to download, so I know exactly where it is. So I'm starting a new picture with this. Or like I said, just use a mirror or your computer. Okay, so there is the picture of me making my silly face, but at least it's an expression, right? Move this over. Okay, and right here, oh, my picture's in the way. Right here, it says layers. So like I can just turn that off, turn that on. If you're not doing it this way and you just have a piece of paper and you can see yourself in our Zoom meeting right now, you can grab pencil and paper and do this right now. I want to make sure I'm clicked on this picture right here. Okay, and I am going to switch to a pencil. And make it a little thicker. There we go. Okay, so if you have pencil and paper right now, I would like you to make a silly face in Zoom so you can see your face. Or if you have a mirror or you're looking at somebody else, that's fine too. You can draw them. Just make sure there's an expression. I'm going to start with the eyes, and because I'm cheating, I don't have to look at the picture of me. I can just draw right on the picture. Check that out. So I draw right here. Go ahead and draw the upper, draw your eyelids, right? Eyelids. Okay, why don't you go ahead and do that now? I wonder if I can zoom in on here. Ooh, I can. Check that out. Even better. Go ahead and draw your eyes, eyelids, and let's do the eyebrows too. I'm just gonna and eyebrows up here. Okay, go ahead and take a minute to do that. All right, so we're gonna move on to the nose. And then I'm just gonna draw, you need to draw the bridge. That's the bridge of your nose right here. And this is called the ball of your nose. Go ahead and draw the ball of your nose. And then don't forget the nostrils. One thing you want to avoid is drawing circles for nostrils, because then it's like this. You're drawing a face that's like this, and then it ends up looking like a piggy nose, right? Okay, so go ahead and take a moment to do that now. Got a little line right there. Zoom out a little bit. And you can see this, and then like later on, just here's my drawing. Okay. Okay, so we have eyes and nose. Let's start the next part, which is the mouth. Okay, so I'm gonna just start with right here. There's a little crease right here. And there's my lip. and upper lip. And if you have, like me, I'm making this line right here. If you have a cheek line, go ahead and do that. You got a little one like right here. Okay, go ahead and draw your mouth. Okay, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Oh, a lot. Right here. I'm going to start by drawing the chin next. So I'm going to start, normally you'd be following your chin line, right? But for me, I am going around the beard here. And I'm going to go around the cheek here. It's getting hard to see that because remember we're making it like make my neck real quick here since I'm working down here. Widen my screen. Okay, I got a hoodie on. So you can draw your shoulders right now and your chin. Okay, I'm going to zoom out again. And zoom in over here. Okay, so now I'm going to draw the ear. So why don't you go ahead and draw the ear right now. I'm going to start to draw the side of my head since I'm working over here already. I'm going to zoom out again, zoom back in. Okay, so let's, oops. I'm going to continue the side of my head over here. Got some wrinkle lines that go like that. Then my head goes all the way up to here. Okay, so why don't you start drawing your forehead and the sides of your head right now. Now, if you want, you can start adding your hair. All right, I'm gonna add some more details for my hair here. And I'm not gonna draw every single hair. You guys, you don't want to draw all, every single hair. It ends up looking like a doll or an action figure with plastic hair or spaghetti hair or something like that. Okay, now I'm gonna zoom out. And, oh, I forgot my mustache. Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna turn off the picture of me. And there is the drawing of me. I wonder if I can add another layer. Just maybe make it white. Is there a way to like move? How do I move? Oh, like that. There we go. And then I can just make this white, I believe. Switch to white. And since that layer is behind this, it's like I'm coloring behind, you know, underneath the drawing. Okay, so that's probably about as far as we're going to get today. We're probably running out of time. So this is all I want you to do, and I want you to set this aside because like Rembrandt, there is going to be a special way I would like you to add color and shading. So today was all about drawing the portrait. And then next time will be all about shading. We're probably not even going to add color. It's going to be all in shadow and darkness. Ooh, here's the spot. And all I did to add that layer was click on this little layer button right here in Canvas. If you're working on regular paper, you don't have to worry about that. You already have a white piece of paper. I added a layer and then I clicked on this and I moved it, right? And I was turn this back on and then turn this off. And there's the picture of me again. Okay. It's pretty cool. So set this aside, put it in a safe place. Okay. Because we're going to continue this project next week. If you misplace it, you're just going to have to do it again. Because you're not going to be able to do the project next week unless you have this. So I hope you had fun learning about Rembrandt and starting to make a portrait like Rembrandt. It's not quite there yet. It doesn't look like Rembrandt yet, but it will. And then next week, we'll talk about shading. All right. Have a great day. See you next time.